Hello, my name is Brian Campbell, student of physical therapy at Regis University, and I investigated the motor unit recruitment of the forearm during various contraction types. Some background on motor units. A motor unit is composed of a muscle fiber and motor. Due to the lack of significance,
my name is Brian Campbell,
the results
student
are
of
not
physical therapy
very relevant
at Regis
to the
University,
clinic, and I
Still,
investigated
the concepts
motor
that
unit
the study
recruitment of the
highlights
forearm during various
are
contraction
relevant
types.
to the clinic.
Some
By
background
understanding
on
how
motor
motor unit
unit
recruitment
relates
relates
to
to
fiber and
differing
motor
types
neuron.
of contractions,
Muscle
a therapist can more accurately target a patient's nervous system
or stimulated,
or a muscle itself.
A greater number of motor units
Thank you
recruited
for your time.
results in a stronger contraction. Electromyography, or EMG, is typically used to measure motor unit stimulation during contraction. There are three types of muscle contractions: concentric, eccentric, and isometric. Each contraction has different motor unit recruitment strategies. By understanding how motor unit recruitment relates to contraction, clinicians can better understand how the muscle functions and prescribe exercise that is most appropriate. The purpose of this lab was to investigate variation in motor unit recruitment in wrist flexors and extensors during various contractions. My hypothesis was that the greatest amount of motor unit recruitment would occur during concentric contractions. I had 8 subjects, 3 males and 5 females, with ages ranged from 22 to 30 years old. Students were Regis University DPT students, class of 2021, able to perform wrist flexion and extension under tension. The materials used were EMG electrodes, razors, alcohol wipes, EMG unit, and an 8-pound hand weight. The area where the electrodes would ultimately be placed was shaved and wiped with an alcohol swab. Electrodes were placed over wrist flexors and extensors as shown in the picture. Each subject's maximal voluntary contraction was measured for both extensors and flexors to give us a baseline. Peak EMG values were recorded while the subject performed isometric, concentric, and eccentric contractions for both wrist flexion and extension in accordance with the instructions on the poster. Statistical analysis for mean, standard deviation, and p-values were performed in Microsoft Excel. Peak EMG values were determined by Synergy 3D. The results of the experiment show that the average percent maximal voluntary contraction was greater during concentric contraction than in isometric and eccentric contractions, as shown in Table 1 and Figure 2. Still, after performing a t-test, it was found that the difference in percent MVC is insignificant, as shown in Table 2. In conclusion, the results do show support for the hypothesis and coincide with claims by other studies, but the whole null hypothesis could not be rejected due to p-values greater than 0.05. As a result, no conclusions can be made from my. Due to the lack of significance, the results are not very relevant to the clinic. Still, the concepts that this study highlights are relevant to the clinic. By understanding how motor unit recruitment relates to differing types of contractions, a therapist can more accurately target a patient's nervous system or a muscle itself. Thank you for your time.